So you're thinking about moving to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma? Well, hold on a minute. Let's keep it real. It's not all blue skies and sunshine here. There are some reasons why Oklahoma City might not be for you. There's some negatives, especially if you're coming from Texas, California, or Colorado. There can be a little bit of a culture shock, and we want you to know of some of the negatives ahead of time so you're prepared. So in this video, I'm going to give you the top 10 reasons why moving to Oklahoma City might not be for you. And let's get after it right now. Hey friends, I'm Melissa Branson with Chamberlain Realty. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to cover the most negative things about moving to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And there are some doozies in here, and the last one, it might actually surprise you. So number one is the weather. Of course, I'm going to start off with the weather in Oklahoma City. This is something that we get asked about most often, especially people moving from California where the weather is pretty perfect all the time. We do tend to have extreme weather in all 4 seasons. So let me tell you, when it's cold here, it's cold. And when it's hot here, it's hot and humid. The average temperature for the summer might be in the mid-90s, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 100. December through February are usually the coldest months here, with the average being about 32. But it's not just cold here. Most days, the cold weather is accompanied by the cold, brisk wind, which makes it feel much colder than 32. And speaking of wind, it's pretty constant. Oklahoma lands itself in the top 10 windiest states in the U.S. at number 8, according to the worldpopulationreview.com. And springtime in Oklahoma brings rain, and usually plenty of it. So according to currentresults.com, Oklahoma gets an average of 3 to 4 inches of rain each month in March, April, and May. But of course, we couldn't just get rain. Springtime brings with it severe thunderstorms, hail, winds, and you guessed it, tornadoes. Now, we're pretty well prepared for what Mother Nature throws our way. Now, there are, now hundreds of tornado sirens all over Oklahoma City and the surrounding suburbs. And, they're utilized when we have a tornado warning in the area. So here in Oklahoma, meteorologists issue watches and warnings. So what's the difference between a watch and a warning? Well, a watch means that we have the potential exists, that conditions are favorable. And when a watch is issued, you should go about your normal activities, but keep an eye to the sky and an ear to the news. Now when a warning is issued, when a storm is deemed to have the potential for tornadoes. And a tornado warning usually means that a tornado is either occurring or it's imminent based on radar. So you should be ready to take cover. Now, Oklahoma City is also home to some of the nation's best meteorologists. So we're able to stay aware and informed when the time comes. And just 30 miles south of Oklahoma City in Norman is the National Weather Service. So not only do we have the best of the best when it comes to meteorologists, but we also have access to the best and most technologically advanced equipment to predict and detect a potential severe weather. So number 2 is allergies. The weather and the wind also bring along with it allergies here in Oklahoma City. Now, even if you've never had bad allergies, get ready. According to getcleared.com, Oklahoma lands number 3 in the worst states for allergies. The combination of the relatively flat land, the high winds, the mostly dry climate, it makes Oklahoma City the perfect place for the pollen to fly free, which is usually what causes most of the allergies here. We do have a host of allergy clinics here to help take care of you if you need. Okay, now the third reason to not move to Oklahoma City is public transportation, or the lack of it, I should say. If you're from another state where you don't have a need for a car and you aren't looking to get one, Oklahoma City may not be for you. So a nationwide analysis of public transportation by the Brookings Institute shows Oklahoma City ranks 84th out of 100 metropolitan areas in serving the transit needs of its workforce. Compared to other major cities, Oklahoma has fewer transit options. Now, we do have Embark, which is, buses that go around Oklahoma City. So much more is needed. Oklahoma City covers a lot of area, 620 miles to be exact. It stretches over a bigger surface than LA, Chicago, and even Houston. This is why a majority of the population has need for a car. Now, there are a few areas in Oklahoma City where it's possible to live without a car. So type walkable in the comments below, and I'll share the walkable neighborhoods and areas with you. Now, since we're already talking about transportation, number 4 brings us to road construction. It's going on everywhere in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's road and bridge infrastructure is underfunded. And according to planokc.org, the most frequently mentioned transportation priority was repair and rehabilitation of existing roads. Many street segments, including neighborhood streets, require significant repair or resurfacing. Oklahoma City residents approved the Better Streets, Safer City projects, which were backed by bonds and 2 sales tax initiatives. So the city's working on, making progress in this area. So the 5th reason you may not want to move to Oklahoma City is the high sales tax rate. As mentioned a moment ago, Oklahoma City residents had to approve 2 sales tax initiatives in order to start working on the road and bridge infrastructure. And although Oklahoma ranked the 7th lowest total tax burden in the U.S., according to WalletHub.com, Oklahoma is ranked the 6th highest state in sales tax. So according to Avalara.com, the minimum combined 2022 sales tax rate for Oklahoma City is 8.63%. And this is a total of the state and the city sales tax rates. The Oklahoma State sales tax rate is currently 4.5%, and the Oklahoma City sales tax rate is 4.13%. So why is sales taxes so high here in Oklahoma City? Well, first off, the Oklahoma State income tax rate is fairly low. So the sales tax is used to pay for state and local government services. Oklahoma derives 44% of its tax revenue from sales tax, which is significantly above the national average of 35%. Okay, number 6 is Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma in general, is considered to be one of the most conservative cities in the U.S. Oklahoma is a very red state. For example, as of 2019, Oklahoma is an open carry state, which allows adults 21 or older to carry guns without a permit. Now, of course, there are rules and regulations on this, and places where the guns are prohibited, like schools and government buildings. Oklahoma is also number 6 in the U.S. with the most registered hunters. So needless to say, if you don't like guns and you're not conservative, you may rethink moving to Oklahoma City. Reason number 7 to maybe not make that move to Oklahoma City is if you have kiddos that are in the school system. There are 59 schools in total serving the Oklahoma City Public School District. And this district's average test ranking is 1 out of 10, which is in the bottom 50% of public schools in Oklahoma, according to publicschoolreview.com. And according to niche.com, the Oklahoma Public School District has a C- overall grade. The suburbs surrounding Oklahoma City do have better school systems. So many families tend to move to one of those suburbs like Edmond, Moore, or Norman, because of this. Now, there are a few private schools that some families that live in OKC send their kids to if they can afford it. So coming in for number 8 is mosquitoes. And as the weather warms up and Oklahoma City residents start working more in their yards, a lot of bugs are also getting ready for summer too. And mosquitoes are one of the most hated pests in Oklahoma City. And it's not hard to see why. These flying insects leave behind itchy marks that can annoy us for days. So in 2019, Orkin did a study on mosquitoes, and Oklahoma City came in number 31 as one of the worst places for mosquitoes, pests. Now, while professional services are the best way to keep mosquitoes away, something simple as your landscaping can also help. Comment mosquitoes below if you'd like some more information on these types of landscapings that can help deter these pests. Now, number 9 in the top 10 reasons not to move to Oklahoma City is that it's boring. There isn't much to do or see here in Oklahoma City. The city is almost exactly in the middle of Oklahoma, which means it's landlocked, flat, and boring. And although Oklahoma City does have all the essentials and amenities that you'd expect to find in a mid-sized city, it doesn't have much more. For someone that's coming from a state like California or Colorado where there's so much to do just right outside your door, you need to be prepared. There are no beaches, there are no mountains. And if you want to have a weekend getaway, you'll have to drive 2 hours to Tulsa or 3.5 hours to Dallas. And the Oklahoma City airport isn't very big. And although it's gotten a few more non-stop flights lately, you're more than likely going to have to make a layover somewhere like Dallas to get to where you're going. You would really expect a city the size of Oklahoma City to have more to do for fun, although it is changing and there is so much more to do now than when I was growing up. So now for the last one, number 10. This one might actually surprise you, is that people here are incredibly friendly. Oklahoma City's nickname is the Big Friendly. There is such a thing as Southern hospitality, and it's in abundance here in Oklahoma City. Now, to some people, like me, this isn't a negative, but to people coming from, the East Coast or maybe even from the West Coast, it could make them cringe a little. Oklahoma City is a city filled with some of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. Strangers say hello to you when they pass each other on the street. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be at the grocery store and someone's going to talk to you. Expect the person behind you in line to strike up a conversation with you. The cashier might even ask you what you're going to make for dinner tonight as they're scanning your items. And if you get a flat tire, at least 3 people will be by your side to help you fix it. And their hearts don't stop at their smiles. Oklahoma City has the 5th highest volunteer rate among the 51 largest cities in the country, according to a report by Volunteering in America. So when a stranger smiles and asks you how you're doing, they're not just being friendly, they genuinely mean it. Okay guys, so that wraps up the downsides to living in Oklahoma City. But just like any place else, there's always going to be some negatives. However, if you look at the good side or the pros, there's usually something that balances it out, or it's just not really that bad after all. These are some things to keep in mind, some reasons why Oklahoma City might not be for you. So if you're coming from somewhere like California or Colorado or even Texas, there might be a little bit of a culture shock. And we want you to, kind of know ahead of time so you can be prepared, but it's really nothing that's unmanageable. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, let me know in the comments below. And if you like videos like this that show you what it's like to live here in Oklahoma City and the surrounding areas, please let me know so that we can be sure to make more content like this. And if this is your first time to this channel and you want to learn everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play in the OKC Metro, make sure you tap that subscribe button and click the bell so that you can be the first to learn about all of the happenings and the current market here in the OKC Metro. I do a ton of videos about the OKC Metro, what it's like to live here, where the best neighborhoods are, school districts. I also do real estate video tours of some awesome listings throughout the OKC Metro and much more. We get so many people like you looking to make your move to Oklahoma, and we love it. So if you're looking to move anytime soon or even in the next year, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or email. All of my contact information is in the description below. And we're happy to help you make a smooth move to Oklahoma City. Oh, and be sure to check out this video on the pros and cons of moving to Oklahoma City so that you can get some of the good stuff too.